Hey, it's John from OGS, back with another video. It's Tuesday night, I'm just relaxing at home, playing a bit of guitar. Enjoying myself. Now, we've got a new project, which is the Auto Salon, the 1990 Honda Integra. To all the X-Series guys out there that's been following our builds with the XD and XC, don't worry, I've got one more X-Series Falcon that I haven't revealed yet. I've had it for some time and it's not an XF. So we're going to go and do something a little bit different with the Honda Integra. We were going to go and deep dive back into the Auto Salon days, or the sex spec era, which was the early 2000s. We're talking 20-inch rims, we're talking tan leather interiors with subwoofers throughout, DVD screens in really poor locations, and generally crazy paint jobs and all the rest of it. So that got me thinking. Many of you guys enjoy learning new things, learning new skills. You probably watch a fair bit of YouTube like myself, and I'm that kind of guy as well. So when I thought about how we were going to tackle this particular project with this Honda Integra, it really got me thinking about how I'm going to do it for cheap. Obviously, I don't want to commit a lot of money. It's my own money, so I don't really want to build something that I'm not that interested in. I'm not saying that I don't like those kind of cars, but I'm really more of an old school kind of guy, so I'm a little bit of a fish out of water when it comes to all of that. But I was really thinking about maybe how I could pick up some new skills. I know how to spray cars, not that well, but I know. So you're going to see my skills be tested, a little bit of body work here and there, a little bit of mechanical knowledge, I'm just having a little bit of fun. So that gets me started and thinking about the interior. So check this out. Look what I've got, guys. I've got a box. That might look like some bird shit there, but that's actually paint. And it's a little bit broken over here. But let's unbox it and see what we've got. If I can get this off. Oh, check that out, guys. What do we got over here? It's a 1950s Singer, which is a brand name, made in Great Britain, sewing machine. It's model number EF932931, which means that's made in the 1950s. Don't know a lot about sewing machines, I must admit. I'm not well versed. I did get a bit of information off the web, but maybe you guys might know a little bit about it. So we've got some projects to complete, namely perhaps, I don't know, maybe some car upholstery. I'm not quite sure whether we'll be able to handle it, but we'll see and we'll find out soon enough. Right, let's go through it together. Now you have to excuse my limited knowledge of sewing machines. I'm not well versed in it. So from what I know in here, this is called a bobbin. So this thing here, if I can grab that. So thread is put onto this spindle, or the bobbin, which goes through the bottom plate over here. Here's the foot, it's flapping up and down, and here you can see the needle. These are all adjusters. These are little hooks that you hook your thread through, which we're going to find out together. This is like a tensioner. your bit of thread sits up here, your spindle of thread perhaps. This is a little light, everything works. Over this side you've got a tension adjuster knob, and what that does is it shortens or lengthens your thread. I think that's the right terminology, I don't really know. And then you've got this bit here which you put your bobbin onto, and then it will allow the thread to wind up. And then over on this side here you've got the crank, which is a pretty cool thing there, and obviously the power. So it's a very unique machine, and they can be worth a lot of money, but this one here was only $100 in apparently working condition. Let's give it a go. We're gonna give this a go. I don't really know what I'm doing, so you have to excuse me if you're yelling at the screen and I'm doing something horrendously wrong. So I've got the bobbin here and I want to wind some thread on this. So it goes on this part here, like so, and we'll see whether we can make that work. So just wind it to get it started, which I've done. And stick that on there, and then stick that on there. Okay, so the light has come on now. That gets very hot. Okay, I forgot to mention that it's like a leg. It's operated by your leg. So these bits of metal attach in. I'll just move this back so you can see into this piece here. And then what you can do is you can use your leg to then make it work. So I'm going to give that a shot. So you just put it in like so, and we'll give that a shot. So something's working. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to close that lid. Bobbin's in there. So we want to wind that bobbin. So I've read that you have to click this down, and it's got a rubber wheel here which controls the bobbin, which then when you press it down will hit the crank, and then it will allow it to spin, I think. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. So let's see what happens. Okay, something's happening, but it's only spinning on one side. Let me show you. I don't know whether I meant to use my hand to hold this or something, I'm not really sure. There, it's going. Love it. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I don't know how much to actually put on the bobbin, but that seems like a reasonable amount. I feel like it's meant to go through that hook there, but I'm not sure. Anyway, it worked. Okay, let's move on. So I've got my bobbin with some thread, and I've got a pair of scissors down on the ground. So let's cut there, and let's get rid of that, so we don't need that anymore. Okay, I'm going to put this back in that slot. Apparently if you just stick it in there with the thread and then close the lid, it then will loop through the bottom plate and come through. You'll see what I mean. It's better if I just show you. Okay, so I've got this, and then apparently you need to then put it through that little like notch, like that. Right, so that's it. And then you just tuck it all in there, and then it magically does something. We'll find out. Okay, so that part's done. Okay, let's move on. Right, now we're up to this bad boy. Okay, so we've got some black thread. Stick it on this thing. I won't be able to do this one-handed, and I won't be able to remember how to do it. I think that goes like that first hook. Down under here, and then there's like a little spring which is just there. You've got to loop it under, and then you loop it through this bad boy here. So if I turn it on, you're going to see that go up and down, right? And you can see that go crazy. So I think I need to loop it through here. Okay, we're cooking with gas. And then I'm going to go through this little bad boy here. Why? I don't know why. Cool. A little tedious. Okay, and then I reckon that we should go through this little hook here as well. Why? I don't know. Okay, cool. So you can spin the crank with your hand and that will move the needle up and down. So I want to move it up so I can see where I need to thread the thread through, for lack of a better word. Okay, I'm going to put this down here and see whether I'll be able to do it. Man, sewing's really tedious even before you get to sewing. Aha. Yeah, beauty. Okay, cool. So that's got through there, and I'm going to tuck that underneath the foot, like so. Alrighty, so I've got some cloth from Spotlight. Really suits me. So I'm just going to try to get that bottom thread through that top plate there, or the bottom plate there. I don't really know what I'm talking about, honestly. I'm just going to do it. And then don't forget, there's a little lever at the back here where you just dunk it down like that. And I'll just try to like have my hand so it's not covering the camera. But let's give that a go. Hey! Whoa, that's wild. Let me show you. Check that out. That's amazing. Here's the underside. Let me grab that. There's the underside there. So you can see the underside is that white where the bobbin resides, and magically, I don't know if you can see that white, but it's through that hole now. How it did that, I really don't know. It must have grabbed it somehow. You can see the underside is white and the top side is black with a little bit of white. Nice, I'm happy with that. So I'm just showing you my leg knocking into this piece of metal which controls the motor. You can actually get really good speed control, which I've learned very quickly, which is what you're looking for, especially if you're wanting to do car upholstery. So let's give this another go and I'll show you what I mean. So I go with my pink material, I'll slide it under, drop the foot down, my hand's sort of in the way, but check out my leg. So I'm sort of moving it slightly. So I'm going really fast. I go nice and slow. Uh-oh. The last one didn't actually work, I don't know why, but the black thread came undone. Maybe I haven't looped it right, I'm not really sure to be honest. But anyway, let's give it another go. So drop the foot down and control it with my leg, this thing here. Okay, let's give it another go. I'll try to go nice and slow. Nice and slow. Doing it one-handed, let's go fast. Oh, suss it out. Wait. This thing works like a charm. And it's actually straight. 1950s. Hey, your beauty. All right, well, I'm in the garage. I've still got the Torana here. We're still working away at cleaning the floor pan and doing all those fun things. I've got it back to original orange floor pan, which you can see there. There's a lot more work to be done. Jeez, it smells in here. It smells like methylated spirits. Yeah, so I've got a bit more to gut before I give it to my painter, and the bumper bars are going to come off. Headlights and tail lights are going to come off. I've got to get rid of all the glass, the door handles. I've got to get the heat gun on the rubber parts here. They're going to go as well. I've got to put my spare boot lid, which is actually rust free, even though it's got bog and spots showing. That's rust free. I'm going to lose the spoiler. I wonder what you guys think of that. But anyway, so I'm in here, and if you hadn't guessed, what I'm about to say is that I'm going to have a go upholstering some car seats myself for the Honda Integra. The car doesn't mean much to me. I ain't going to pay 2 or 3 grand or whatever it costs these days to reupholster the seats in some sort of like, you know, light leather. So let's go have a look at my Torana seat, which actually has been retrimmed, and let's have a bit of a think about it. All right, so it's black pleather. It's got you know, original looking sort of cloth. It's been re-padded. It feels great. It feels real juicy and, you know, supple and thick. And it's got the piping around here, which is a nice feature. It's black, you know, with the cloth there. There's no real accents. I didn't have the budget for it, so I just made it, you know, nice, neat and tidy. So let's have a look at this from an analytical point of view. So the bloke, Terry's Motor Trimming, I don't mind dropping his name. Again, I don't know whether he's still floating around or not. They're in Clayton, I think. What he's done is he's re-padded it, and it feels great. You know, so he's really built up these the side sort of whatever you call them, I'm not quite sure. And the headrest there feels really solid. Around the back, the Torana seats normally have like a plastic insert, and it sort of like dips in so you can have your knees and get that extra bit of space. I got rid of that. I've just got like a board here, which would just be some sort of like MDF board covered in the black pleather. So if you can see that, you can see the stitching is really, really nice. I mean, the guys know what they're doing there. And I can see that it's stitched where the piping is there, and there's a seam there, and then he's done another stitch there for possibly cosmetics. I'm not sure. I haven't watched any videos on upholstery or anything like that. I just want to give it a crack. I want to see whether it's possible or not. So I've ordered some light tan pleather, or whatever you call it, fake leather. The good thing about my seat is that the Honda Integra, is that I don't think I need to replace any of the padding, nor do I really feel comfortable with doing so, because I don't really know what the hell I'm doing. But what I'm thinking of doing is unstitching piece by piece, using them as patterns and templates to redraw it all, and then cutting it out piece by piece, and then sewing it piece by piece, and then putting it on basically like a seat cover. And I've seen them around, you know, on YouTube and eBay. Like, they're just seat covers, and then you just stick them on top, and then away you go, you know, and then it's like a new seat, and then you somehow stitch down the bottom, or you staple it down the bottom rather. I can feel a staple down here. Alright guys, that's it for Wednesday's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Look, I want to give it a red hot crack. I've ordered about $50 worth of material coming from Yumcha Express or wherever, I'm not quite sure. Hopefully it's going to take a week or so to come, maybe longer, hopefully not though. But I want to give it a crack and see whether I can put together something that's somewhat presentable. Because it is a budget build. I want to spray it myself, I want to reupholster it myself, get it running, maybe chuck an eBay turbo on there, I really don't know. But I need to get to work on this thing. This thing's got to go and be repainted. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe.